And we are live. Greetings, friends. This is the completely wrong file. So hold that thought. We're going to start over. That was a preview of the Marston Mondays. So watch this. And I will be back. Me and Sadie will be back in a minute.
Super. I like Sadie. I like Sadie. I like Sadie.
Hot down, Marston! Hot down, Marston! Hot down, Marston!
Super.
The cat gets its slice. The cat gets its slice. The cat gets its slice.
And we're live.
Hey,
Greetings, friends.
Come on! If we're
Eagle
gonna make
Pro,
it to
Happy
this
New
party,
Year.
sure
Miko,
shit
welcome.
better clean up a little, so we're
Red
doing
2,
this.
greetings. Leroy, glad you're here. Odog, as always, happy to see you, friend. Happy New Year.
Old Senor Bronte, that
Herando,
redneck snake has
Herandro,
knocked us to the
Happy New Year,
balls.
friend. Really
My
appreciate you being
suggestion is
here.
we go and get you
I hope
down.
everyone had a good weekend and is currently surviving New Year's Eve. Appreciate you being here. You know, when all is said and done, your time is your most valuable commodity, and I am honored and humbled that you would choose to spend some of your precious time with me and Sadie, who is my co-host but is now leaving because she found something more interesting. Essentially her squeaky giraffe.
We are here to make real contact. What kind of contact?
So she's celebrating New Year's Eve in her own way.
All I know for sure is we are going to a party at the mayor's house, and the guest of honor
Eagles
is
Pro
the
35
worst
says
cook
it's
in
so dark
town.
and my
I am
girlfriend is
sure
awake.
that we will
Yay.
find some-
Okay. Very happy for you, friend. And Leroy says New Year's Eve can be stressful because of the constant fireworks and my dogs. They're calm.
I'm afraid
Same
the
here
mayor does
right
not
now.
allow guns at official functions
now, at least.
After last year's incident.
And Herandro said, Happy New Year, Super Antonio. The same to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you, Herandro. And glad you're here. I wanted to put in the Saint Denis, the gilded cage, because it's the only fireworks you get in the game. And it's lovely to see. First playthrough, it was just wondrous. It was a really enjoyable moment for me.
As long as
the mayor behaves himself, you know. Mr. Bronte, he has that thing, you know, respect.
You know, I did a speed run to chapter 3, which we finally got to chapter 3 this morning. And I skipped the optional side missions, Charles's bison hunt. And guess what? It popped up in chapter 3. At the start of chapter 3, you get some extra dialogue. Charles will say, "We're a long way. We got to go back to Horseshoe Overlook." And then a little later he says, "Do you mind if we ride in silence? I need to clear my head after everything that's happened." And Arthur's like, "Fine by me." And then the bison herd spawns in a slightly different location. It's closer to the oil derrick. I'll make a video on it just because it was interesting. Arthur got a unique hat and a 3-star bison pelt. However, when we returned to camp, Mrs. Adler and Mr. Pearson were arguing, so we cannot donate that to camp. I want to go fishing with Dutch and Hosea first. So we're staying away from them. And that 3-star bison pelt can remain on
Politics is a
the
foul
brindle
business.
thoroughbreds back for now.
That is Alberto Fusar.
Leroy says, Bonnie came home today. She was a little overwhelmed by Calypso and Junebug, so I did have to separate them. But she seems pretty content with her toys and dog bed. She didn't have either at the shelter. So sad, but she's happy now, and I'm very happy and proud that you're able to give her a second chance at a good life. Well done, Leroy. It's a great way to start out the new year. This is technically the last stream of the year and the last video of the year. That's ironic. What's that about? EJ007 with a license to kill says Happy New Year's Eve, or Happy New Year's, and Happy New Year's to you as well, EJ. Shaken, not stirred.
That is Hector Fellows.
Who is your favorite James Bond?
Maybe you will kill him for me.
For me, Sean Connery, of course.
We're not
Classic.
killers as such.
But
not in
also-
cold blood anyway.
I did not know you were so particular.
Roger Moore and
I'm willing to help in any way I can.
Pierce
within
Brosnan
reason.
to an extent.
I'm going to pretend to understand what that means.
I meant no offense.
Famke Janssen is probably my favorite Bond girl. She played Xenia Onatopp
All these
with
vulgar people.
with Pierce Brosnan's Bond.
Non vedo l'ora di
Leroy
guardarti
says it's
morire.
crazy how fast this year went by. Yeah, it is actually when you think about it. It's not good to think about it. It'll just depress you. Just look forward to the next year. Tomorrow's Marston Mondays. On Mondays we Marston. And if you were here earlier, you saw a little preview of that. I loaded up the wrong video.
Those sure were the days. Good day, gentlemen.
Good day to you. But before you go, what exactly are your plans here?
Well, we've not
Eagles
made any...
Pro 35 says, I turn
Well,
26 tomorrow. Well done,
you are
friend. Happy
going to
birthday.
need some money.
Money. Yes, of course.
Appreciate
Well,
you
there's
celebrating
money
your
at the trolley
pre-birthday.
station. They keep a lot of
with
cash
us
there
here.
in the day. Now, I could not involve
Hope you have a
myself
great
in
day.
Such matters. But you, as a guest, yes, as my guest, do it, huh? Okay, good day, gentlemen.
EJ007 says Sean Connery. Yes.
Okay, ragazzi.
Yes, indeed.
Adesso il vino buono.
He was a great actor. He was a great Bond. Also the first Bond, so, well, yeah, the first Bond. He was not technically what Ian Fleming, I know a lot about James Bond lore and Ian Fleming. I've read all the books. He's not who Ian Fleming technically visualized as Bond. He saw someone with darker hair. Hoagie Carmichael was who he visualized, who was a popular singer and musician from the 40s. He was just kind of lean and black, dark hair and dark eyes. Also, Ian Fleming liked Cary Grant for the role of Bond. Hirandro, just Hirandro, says, Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan are the best. And don't even start to talk about Famke Janssen. Yes, woof. I love her. The future ex-Mrs. Superantonio. Even now, she's aged quite well. When she was in X-Men, yeah. I'll watch her. I've watched her in pretty much everything. I've pretty much followed her career since Xenia on the top. Yes, Pierce Brosnan was a very suave Bond, and I like the humor and self-deprecation of Roger Moore's Bond, and also "Live and Let Die" is such a great theme song. Let's see, who else? "A View to a Kill" by Duran Duran, love that. Also the classics, of course. Goldfinger, Thunderball. I liked Daniel Craig at the start. I mean, I liked him in Casino Royale, but you know, it was just a kind of violent reboot of the character and the series, and for me at least, it went completely off the rails. But I like the idea of a new Q, that being younger and a computer guy, and they got rid of I love the gadgets. They got rid of all the gadgets because we live in a gadget world. And Q says something about, he can do more with his laptop than you can with a gun, and technically it's true. But for me, Bond was all about cars, travel, exotic locale, violence, stylish mayhem, and beautiful women, and amazing stunts. Like skiing off a cliff and opening your parachute, and it's a Union Jack parachute. Stuff like that. Just amazing analog stunts. And they kind of got away with that, away from that vision of Bond, with Daniel Craig. EJ007 says, "I used to play The World Is Not Enough for Nintendo 64 as much as Red Dead Redemption 2, LOL." I can see that. I still think, I still look at this eBay listing for a 3D printed golden gun that breaks apart, that disassembles into the pen and the tie clip and the cufflinks and the cigarette lighter and the cigarette case. And my finger hovers over the buy it now every now and then, because that would be fun to have. You have to build it, of course. David B, welcome, friend. David has been a member at the Tahiti level for 35 months. Appreciate you, friend. He says, "Happy New Year, friendos." And David, I'm so glad you're here. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good birthday. And you're having a great New Year's Eve. What's for dinner? We talk about food a lot on this channel for some reason.
But this man loves darkies. Hey, you are pretty drunk.
And tonight we're talking about James Bond for some reason. Well, no, for the EJ007 reason. I didn't even mind Judi Dench as M. I thought, that was fine. Thought that was progressive, but, it's the series, the franchise has gone off the rails as far as I'm concerned. However, I've got everything up to Casino Royale on Blu-ray, so I'm set.
Thank you, sir.
I don't ever have to, I can just look backwards. I don't have to look forward. I also like the 1968 Casino Royale with David Niven as a retired James Bond. It's more of a parody of the franchise. David says, "Chili, Colorado, rice and beans." Okay. Knowing you, it's probably too spicy for me, but I'd be willing to try it. I do like rice and beans. Here's your New Year's Eve fireworks.
Excuse me, brother. Excuse me, brother. Please, please. Mr. Cornwall was quite insistent.
I highly
I'm
recommend
afraid. He shouted
reading
down
the
the
books
telephone
in
for
order
several minutes.
if you
Cornwall is
have
a
access to them
horse's ass
and
and a
the
bad
time.
horse.
They're really
Very
fun
sorry,
reads. They
sir.
go really
It's not
fast, and you
for
get a
them
very
for trusting
interesting
him. I'll come in
perspective
in a
of
minute.
James
Me enjoy the
Bond.
fireworks. Of course.
Did he say something
I
about
get-
Cornwall?
I have this direct quote. I'm quoting directly from one of the books. He smoked his 48th cigarette of the day. It's amazing how much they smoked and drank back then. And that whole, like, his whole lifestyle of eating the finest things and you know, and like trying to bed pretty much any woman he encountered, it came from his philosophy that he probably wasn't going to live out the year. You know, it's like this World War II mentality that, you know, he's already dead, like the samurai of ancient Japan. So why not live life to the fullest and enjoy the finest things in life
Everything's fine.
while you can,
The place well
because
secured.
tomorrow we die.
Mr. Bronte has a
Also, there was a little bit of, you know, the war rationing. You know, Ian Fleming survived World War II and thought a lot about food, I guess. And, you know, you get the same kind of food and meal descriptions in Roald Dahl's books, especially Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Just all the English writers from that time period were obsessed with meals, kind of like I am. But, but that's because they went through the hardships of the Blitz and World War II. And for me, it's just because I only eat one meal a day, and so around this time, I'm usually quite hungry.
Marie! Marie!
Odog and David, shout out to the mods, together at last. It's like old times. And we're here in the Mayor's Mansion. We're going to spend the whole of New Year's Eve in San Denis. Jordan T, Happy New Year, Super Antonio. All the best. All the best to you, Jordan. Appreciate you being here.
Have you lost your mind?
Who is your
I
favorite
said,
James
have you
Bond?
lost your mind? Come here. Come here. Look at me.
It's the kiss of death for Mr. Goldfinger.
Look at me.
You know, I watched a Shirley Bassey like golden anniversary of
Standards in this house
of
are slipping.
you know, of Goldfinger, and so she came out. She had to be like 80, you know, in her 80s, and she sang Goldfinger, and her voice was still like strong. She still commanded a presence, and she's like in this shimmering golden gown, and she's singing Goldfinger, and she's doing all these like just hand gestures that I'm sure were quite sensual in the 60s, and now they're just kind of like awkward and a little embarrassing because she's like, you know, she was a grandma's age. She was in her 80s, and then at the point where you know, where she goes, "It's the kiss of death for Mr." You know, that's that line. She goes, "It's the kiss of death," and she kisses her shoulder for Mr. Goldfinger, and it was awesome and kind of embarrassing. I was, you know, it was a little awkward. So I had to go back and see like a classic, like 1968 version of her singing that, and you know, just like this mod Shirley Bassey with like short twiggy hair, just to cleanse the palate. Micah T, greetings, friend. Micah says hello, Happy New Year. Red 2, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, friend. Appreciate you being here. Jordan T says, loved your recent horse duplication video, by the way. Thank you, friend. I really appreciate that. I loved it too. It's amazing after 5 years, there are new exploits to take advantage of. And finally, Mary's no good little brother Jamie is good for something. Eagles Pro 35 says, Happy New Year, you guys. Everyone say happy birthday to Eagles Pro. He turns 26 tomorrow. Micah says, I assume you're staying up till 12? No. We're only up. We're going to do a couple hours on this stream. A little more than a couple hours.
Nothing. This town is a waste of time.
I don't have it into me to do like a 4 or 5 hour march. I know other streamers do. Streamers have been, you know, they'll do like 24-hour marches. I don't know how they do it. But I don't drink Red Bull. Or maybe next year we'll do like a 24-hour or like a 4 or 8 hour stream. But the 2 hours are fine for me right now. Jordan says, I'm still using the Albert Mason method. You made a video about my Silver Dapple Pinto whenever I start a new world. Yes, that's the only consistent way to get one now, except with Save Wizard.
Here comes Lenny. All right.
David says, I will be in bed in an hour or so, very early morning tomorrow. David is the hardest working member of the chat,
All them folk
and we
are so
appreciate
pleased
you,
with
David.
themselves.
Leroy says, happy birthday, Eagle Pro. Eagle
If you
Pro,
ask me,
hope
it's more
you
like
have a
torture.
good
Well,
birthday.
that's sort of the point, isn't it?
And Harandro also says happy
torture
birthday.
themselves.
Here's them papers I took.
Look at you, Eagles Pro
me see
35.
you
We
take
really
this.
should be Eagles
I
Pro
don't think so.
26.
I might have an idea.
Coming in with
Let me
that
think on it.
birthday greetings.
Interesting times.
I guess. So what's next? Dancing lessons? Deportment?
More along the lines of armed
Some of those
robbery.
James Bond movies,
Hosea
especially
is handling
the older ones,
reconnaissance
I've
on
seen
the
so
bank.
many times.
He and Abigail are gonna
I
run
almost
some
don't have to
distractions
watch 'em anymore.
See how the law reacts.
Good.
Oh, and I spoke to Evelyn Miller.
And there's-
Fine man. Here helping the Indian chief we saw.
Yeah, I met him too.
There's scenes
Man,
that are
He's
just
lobbying
embedded
officials
in my
San Diego on
memory,
their
of,
behalf.
like
Maybe
Sean
we could go.
Connery
Maybe.
in a
Now, I
wetsuit
think there's a lot of
coming
money on
out
the riverboat.
of his
A lot
wetsuit and
of
tearing it
money.
off and having a
Trelawney, he's
tuxedo
investigating
underneath.
for us. He says to meet him at the tailor's.
Okay.
Just love
One
that.
big score down here, Arthur.
Leroy
and we
says also
disappear.
Bonnie says,
We are
hi,
almost heading
she's
home."
very interested in these
Where
screens
is home?
and won't stop sniffing it.
I don't know.
Okay, well, she's having a good New Year's
But I
Eve.
can
I'm
smell
all
it.
about exposing dogs to new
I'm gonna
things,
go
new
investigate this
experiences.
trolley thing old Bronte
think they
was
enjoy
talking
that.
about.
Okay.
My dear Arthur, I hope this letter finds you well. I wanted to thank you for your help with Jamie.
Dear Arthur,
He and Daddy are still arguing.
Mary's back.
But I understand that Jamie is thinking about
We're
going
not
back
gonna
to
see her
college.
today, but
Whatever
we do
happens,
have to read this letter to get it
I
out
believe
of
you saved his
get it
life,
out of the
and
way.
we are all truly grateful. Oh, Arthur.
Yeah,
I
so we
have
made it
such
chapter
a mess
3.
of my life,
I did that
time
optional
again.
Buffalo mission in
Why
chapter
can I
3.
not
That was
change
odd.
and be the woman I want to be? Why couldn't you
And we're going to
change
make hard
and be a
saves
man and
after
put
every
down all
mission
those fantasies that shroud
until
your
we get
judgment?
to the fine art
Life
of
is very
advertising, or
confusing,
the
and
American
I
art
see
of
now that I'm
advertising,
not very
so I can
good
get
at
that
it.
tiny little Fenton
I'm
cutscene
afraid we've got
where Fenton
ourselves
lines
into
him up.
another mess.
Keep
It's
him
not my
coming,
fault,
Fenton,
but
and
I need your help.
and we can make the
I'm
chapter 3
staying at the
cutscene
Hotel
video.
Grand in San
David
Denis.
says, happy and safe New Year's, guys. Gonna
Arthur,
take my wife to
I
her
know it is
sisters.
wrong
Okay,
to
I
ask
appreciate
you,
you checking in, David.
but
You have a
I
happy
have
New Year
nobody
too.
else. And
Drive
for what
safe.
we once
Be
had
careful. A
together,
lot of maniacs out
I
tonight.
beg of you,
Appreciate you being
even
here.
though
See you
I
soon,
am
friend.
ashamed to do so.
Hirandro
Yours,
says, Mary goes like Arthur. Yes, she does. I like how she says, oh, Arthur. And Arthur likes it too, if you know what I mean. Look at that fancy business card Arthur just picked up. Odog says, peace, fella. That's for David, one can assume. David says, stay safe, friends. You too, David. See you soon. Hopefully you'll be back for Marston Mondays, because on Mondays we Marston. Leroy says, I always wondered why Mary only talked to Arthur when she needed help. It always confused me. Their dynamic is strange, because Arthur came from a completely different world, and Arthur could handle things, and Arthur strode the line between good and bad. It's always good to have a friend like Arthur, but you don't want to like be in a relationship with someone like Arthur. But and in my experience, which is terrible and vast when it comes to women, women usually have a friend like Arthur in their back pocket.
Civics and ethics lesser work
Just
of
some sketchy guy that they can rely on to do sketchy things.
Here, here.
Without it, we are savages. But
And the less said about that, the better.
In 50 years,
Leroy says,
put down his guns and start
at least
living a
she
life
tried in the
of
end
relentless
with
purity.
taking him to the theater for some quality entertainment. Yeah, that's very
But
charming.
rich
That whole
can
date
be
they
so
have,
very
and
self-absorbed.
when she asks him to run away with her, and he considers it
All
for
our
a second.
strengths. That's the point.
Randro says,
We've
"Drive
gone
safe,
over
man,"
this.
to David,
Violence is never right.
I
and Red
agree
2 says,
with you.
"Bye."
But it's not violence. It's the
And Arthur
mere
considers
threat
it.
of
But he's like, he has to take care of the gang. The gang comes first. The gang comes.
Against Hector Fellows,
The gang's
worst
safety and
hate.
well-being
To
is
convince
placed before
to make
his
good on his
safety
promise
and
to
well-being,
help
and that's
finance
what
the
makes Arthur a
library.
hero.
Who
And
is he
that's
and where
one of
do
the
I
reasons
find
why
He's a
you love him
newspaper
so
man.
much,
And he's
because he
leaving
puts others
town.
first.
On a coach, heading to his country estate.
Not like
because
John,
he
who
doesn't
left
like
for a
your
year.
heavy-handed approach.
Well, you certainly won't like my heavy-handed approach.
Thank you, Mr. Arthur.
You'll spot him on the road through the bayou. He has a red coach. So we are clear. I do not approve of this behavior.
Leroy says, I felt secondhand embarrassment when he tried to put his arm around her, but very suspiciously plays it off as a stretch. Oh, everyone's made that move, or you should make that move, because when it works, it's the most thrilling feeling in the world. You know, it's like that old Beatles song, I Want to Hold Your Hand. You know, it's just that first tentative touch in the early start of a relationship, you know, when it's returned, is a wonderful feeling. Score 777 says, if Arthur never got TB, who would he pick in the end, Mary or Sadie? Or neither? Well, first of all, Happy New Year, Score. Appreciate you being here. And I would hope he would pick Sadie and they would go off to South America together. But that's just me. I'd rather pick someone new than go back to someone I've already been with. In my experience, when you return to an ex-girlfriend, you get to the good parts earlier and you get to the bad parts earlier. There's a reason why you broke up in the first place, basically. So why not try something new with someone you just met?
Charity, sir. And an appeal
Leroy
to
says, I never tried it because I felt like it could escalate things in two ways, either romantically or awkwardly. That's not a risk I'm willing to take. Well, not a risk now, Leroy, but without risk, there is no reward. And Gerandro says, don't forget Charlotte. Score. Yeah, Charlotte was rich. She was a rich heiress.
Leia is a crook.
Sadie and Arthur were more on an equal level, and you know, I believe if Arthur went with Charlotte, he would just be setting him up for another married situation, just with an older version of Mary. Hodok says Sadie or Charlotte. Karen third. LOL. Yeah, Karen's a good time. Karen's a crazy time. Yes, oh dog. Karen is certainly the healthiest girl in the gang. And Eagles Pro 35 says, "Oh Lord." And then I like I do like Sally Nash. I like her, that just tomboy quality of her, and the boots, and you know, the only lady lion tamer, the second lady lion tamer, and the she'd be fun. Leroy says, I think he saw Sadie as more of a sister, plus Sadie definitely wasn't fully healed from her husband's death by the end of the game. She definitely wasn't ready for another relationship. That's true. That is very true, Leroy. But then you're going back to canon, and the question was, what if Arthur didn't have TB? Odog says, really, Leroy, didn't feel that way at all. And we snuck into the mayor's mansion. It's really easy to do if you have the lockbreaker after you accept the first mayor's mission. Hirandro says, it's a shame we never got to see a proper ending to Karen, not even a grave. Yeah, I think the developers were just like desperate to get the game out in time, and Karen just got left by the wayside. There just wasn't enough time. Odog said she flirted with Arthur. Odog, she flirted with everyone. I wonder what the data files say. They changed the game last few months before launch. Yeah, I wonder as well, Odog. Leroy says, truly, I never saw any spark between them that was romantic at all. He only expressed interest in her when he was healthy, heavily drunk, and not thinking straight. Are you talking about Karen or Sadie? And Sadie's looking up at me. He draws Sadie. He draws Mrs. Adler, and he talks about her in her journal, in his journal. It's not a very flattering drawing of her, to be honest, to be fair. His most flattering drawing is of Penelope Braithwaite. Odog says, Sadie didn't flirt with everyone. I thought you were talking about Karen, Odog. And she said he was the finest man she knew. That means a lot of things. Sure does. I thought you were talking about Karen, because you mentioned her assets earlier. Leroy says, Sadie. Score says, what about Mary Beth? They had their dance at Sean's party. I honestly think that Arthur thought of Mary Beth as a little sister, and Mary Beth had a crush on Arthur and did not think of him as a big brother at all. She gives him a gold ring when he gives her a pen. A ring from a woman implies everything you think you're thinking about. Eagles Pro says, oh my lord, I like Mary Beth in the game. Yeah, she's a cutie. I prefer Miss Tilly, but I like the accent. But Mary Beth is certainly a fan favorite. But I thought that Arthur thought of all the girls in the gang, except for as little sisters, except for, of course, Miss Grimshaw, who he had a more of a maternal relationship with. Leroy says, I don't like how the former gang members talk to John when he brings up Arthur. They just say, yeah, it's sad, or gotta skedaddle. Yet these stranger mission people mourn Arthur so heavily. That's true. Odoc says, LOL, yeah, Karen flirted with a few and screwed Sean at the very least. Karen was in love with him, I think. With Sean, yeah. She was done after he got killed. Yeah, that's when she really goes downhill and the drink takes a hold. Odog notes, Abigail wasn't looked at as a sister. They dated, yes indeed. Forgot about Abigail.
Hi there, mister.
Arthur has a special relationship with Abigail. Leroy says, yeah, she was unstable after Sean's death. I do think she truly loved Sean. Yeah, she wouldn't admit it, but she did. Herandro says, didn't Arthur have something with Abigail in the past? Yeah, there was a question of the paternity of Jack. That's why John left. Jack could be Arthur's son. Another clickbaity video I could make that I don't have any interest in making. Eagles Pro says, I think Arthur made Jack, but nobody knows who's his father is. Score says, Abigail had a quote-unquote special relationship with a few of the boys. Yes, she did, including Dutch. That's awkward. But she left those days behind her when she met John. Sadie moved to the couch. She's on her blankie. I love the architectural details in the Saint-Denis mayor's mansion. Just gorgeous. Classical Greek and Roman columns and all that wood paneling. Gorgeous paintings, artwork, gilded frames. Odog says, I thought that at first, but as an older teen, young adult, Jack is a Marston. And looks the part, built like John and all. Arthur is more bulky, John is smaller, Jack is built like John and looks like John. Score says that mustache screams Javier. I believe Arthur has a level 10 handlebar. No, he doesn't.
Excuse me, sir. Can I bother you for a minute of your time?
But I don't know what mustache you're talking about.
Can I tell you a little about what we're doing here?
Sure.
Less than a minute, I promise.
Note this lady has a leaf
We're trying to raise
in her
money
hat.
to build an expansion to the Quincy
What's
Harris
that about?
Memorial Hall.
Also a feather.
A shelter for homeless veterans and their
The
families.
ladies of Saint-Denis have
Can you
really
help?
fancy hats.
A donation of
The latest
$20
fashion in
would put
Paris,
us well on
one
our
would
way.
assume.
$20 ain't no chicken feed, but sure, I can help you out.
That's very kind. What is your name, sir?
Arthur Morgan.
Your donation will
I'm
be
not
acknowledged
sure what
on a founder's
what
plaque
movie
when the
we're going to
building is
watch next
completed.
Saturday for movie
You
night.
have a great day, Mr. Morgan.
Movie nights aren't the greatest
Well,
attended of the
good luck to
streams,
you. Seems a
but they
worthwhile
do
cause.
well on replay,
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
which I find
Hey,
interesting. Also,
Hello. How are you today?
for movie nights, I I just want to have a general conversation that is not necessarily Red Dead related. Odog says 20 bucks. Yeah, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. You get a little bit of an honor boost, and you get your name post game.
Hi there, mister.
I want to use movie nights to attract new viewers who don't even play this game, who will, one, maybe pick it up, or two, just hang out for me, because they want to listen to,
Hey there.
you know, they like my voice, or they like my conversational style. So we can just expand the audience, expand the viewership, bring in more views, bring in more subs, blah, blah, blah. All that, you know, and we're back at the Saint Denis horse glitch, which does not work now. You know, all that. That's what I want for the, for movie night. It is my one effort at self-promotion. Odog says, Armageddon? That's not a good subject for New Year's Eve. Let's go talk to Algernon.
Mais bonjour.
We are going to do the Algernon cutscenes, but we are not going to be picking any flowers or looking for birds. That would just be too excruciating for New Year's Eve. Hirandro says, oddly enough, Arthur's outfit seems based upon adult Jack. Are you talking about his classic gunslinger outfit? Never finished Red Dead 1. I lost interest in it. We do have a an Undead Nightmare playthrough on the channel, however, if you're interested, and I will put that up again for Halloween. We'll do an Undead live stream.
I don't know.
That'll be fun.
I met you, remember? At that party?
Oh, yes. You saved my life. Oh, I am eternally yours, Algernon.
Odog says, Jack looks at Arthur as an uncle. Surely he didn't forget him and Hosea. But I'm willing to bet Jack is John's son. Yeah, you know, it's like, you gotta trust Abigail.
How about
Hirandro agrees and says yes.
Idiots in this town all want Italian nymphs, but the Italians
Are you any interest in a nymph?
Frankly, the Baroque is an
I'd
abomination.
take one of those.
Belgium. Now that is a land for the connoisseur.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Odog says, oh my god, you've got to finish.
You know,
could get some views.
Really a nymph kind of man.
Oh, of course, too ephemeral. You want something
Yeah, if it was available on
more
PS4,
tangible,
I would.
gothic.
I don't want to
I also
stream.
make
I mean,
corsets. Would you like a
I don't want to
corset?
stream it
I
in the
always
sense
wear
that we can play it on a
I
PS4
don't
if
think
I,
so.
you
Yeah,
know,
I ride
re-up
a
my
lot of
account on
horses.
PS Play.
Whalebone might
But I
stick
want a
you.
hard copy of that. Odog says, I'd watch that.
Sure.
And what
Okay,
is it
let me
you
look
do,
on
Mr.
Amazon, see if
Kilgore? Are
Red
you a
Dead 2,
gentleman of
Red
leisure?
Dead 1
An
is
aesthete?
available on PS4, because I believe it is not.
I suppose I'm kind of an adventurer.
Ha! Yes, of
Red Dead
course,
1
of course.
PS4.
You know, be careful with the China, sir. It is French.
Not Belgian?
No. They are Philistines in that area, not to
We have a
be
compatible for
trusted.
PS4
Youth,
UK PAL import. I don't
eternally
like the sound of
preserved in
that.
Marble is more their specialty. I fear China will always elude them. Now, why are you here exactly?
I don't know.
You're an adventurer, a wanderer, a lost soul cast out from heaven.
The other well, no, I
Sure.
want to buy a PS3.
Well, I do pay exceptionally well for certain objects needed for my art.
You do?
I do. Exceptionally well.
Well,
Eagles Pro
what do you
35
need?
says the
Let's see.
remastered is.
Right now, I have a couple of commissions. I need at least
Let's see.
15
Red
egret
Dead
tombs.
Remaster.
Good ones, obviously. I also need 15 assorted orchids. Here's a list.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
PS4,
see what I can
44
do.
bucks.
Thanks for the tea.
Thank you, Tacitus. It'll
Thinking
be very
about
worth
it.
your while.
Odog says it was in PlayStation once. Play Store once thought they remastered it for PS4. Odog, yes, they did. I'm remembering now. Eagle Pro says yeah for $59. Score says it's difficult to play Red Dead 1 after playing Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2 is just so much better in every way. That's exactly how I felt about it. Just gorgeous. Odog says check and see if it's on sale. I'd probably just pick a used copy off eBay. And Hirandro says yes, the quote-unquote remaster port. Eagles Pro says on PS5. We have yet to buy a PS5. And at this point in the game, I just don't see any reason. There's nothing modern that I'm interested in.
Madam?
Good morning, sir.
We look backwards on this channel, not forwards.
Morning, ma'am.
Bonjour.
You can shoot the arms off one of those statues in Algernon's garden and make her into a Venus de Milo. I keep forgetting to do that.
You came, Tacitus. I
Make a note of
panicking.
that, Marston.
Or
Morgan.
This woman puts me
I
under.
want to make a short
Baroness,
out of that
course,
at some point.
She writes the most dreadful missives.
Did you
from
watch my
Baden-Baden.
Buell Horseman 9
Still,
short this
now
morning?
I will
The
finish
last
creation
short of
my
2023.
Lord, and after that,
I just threw that up
It's never
real
ending.
quick to
Well, if you keep
squeeze
paying,
out some
I can
extra
keep
views
looking.
for the year.
I don't like to impose.
Odog says, you
keep
should
paying
start
me and
taking
it's not an
donations now for
imposition."
the game, LOL. I got $5 on it.
Here's the
I'm
money
sure
for your
David
kids
wouldn't
for
mind.
that.
Oh, no,
Yes,
yeah, you know, I could
yes.
just buy it. I don't
And
care.
next, I think we'll work on this. It's a displayer cabinet of curios for the Contessa de Bellagio's new palazzo on Lake Garda. She's asked me to summer with her there next year.
Yeah, yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Promising a little
I'm leaning
broad.
heavily towards
Italy
it.
is
I like
just
the
so
idea.
Overrun with Americans just now, don't you find?
Yeah.
We could do
it's
live
a
streams
real
on it
problem.
and
It's the worst kind
and
of
just put up a-
Americans. Financiers, New Yorkers,
you know,
they're such
a
vulgarians.
commentary
What
type
do you need?
situation like the full game commentary,
visits.
but
So, I'm
not
making
as
her a series of
elaborate
centerpieces
because oh
focused
my
on
god, that was
alligator
years in the
eggs
making, and
and
I don't want to invest that
orchids.
much
It's
time
about
in that game.
duality.
Well, I'm all
I'd rather
about
play as Arthur.
duality.
Okay, let's see what
And
used copies
remember,
are going
Tacitus,
for.
Take your time and bring me nothing.
Red
Nothing
Dead
but the
Remastered
best.
PS4.
try.
Looking on eBay. Ooh, Best Buy is selling it for C price. $40. $40 new. And sort by lowest first. And it's Best Buy, $40. Okay. Okay, Odog. You've talked me into it. Odog says live stream with live reactions because it would be genuine. Would get some views. Yeah, I mean, I hate thinking about in those terms of, you know, like we need views and smash that like button and subscribing and all that, but you're right. Okay, it's, you know, it's something I've been thinking about. It would be a fun start to the new year. Yeah, we'll do it.
How are you, ma'am? Excuse me, partner. Hey, friend.
Hello, sir.
It would be a lot of content. Odug says $40 on the PS Store. I need a hard copy. I like physical media. Eagle Pro says, looking fancy, Arthur. Well, yes, he is in Saint Denis. But fancy for Arthur is just putting on a nice vest.
It's the Contessa. She's insatiable. Insatiable. Thank God you're here.
The
Thank
Contessa.
You, God. I've been eating for days. I've gained so much weight. It's the worry, Tacitus. It's
This is
killing.
the oddest
Calm
and
down,
most
Algernon.
charming
This is
friendship
calm.
Arthur has.
You should have seen me yesterday. I nearly
He's
ate
very
the cat.
accepting of
She
Algernon.
says such cruel things.
Well,
Odog says
got
hard
you the
copy for
things for the girl
PS4.
in
Yeah,
New York.
yeah.
That strumpet, I don't.
I would buy
care
the
about
disc
her.
version.
She's trade. She's common. Her father
Odog says
lends
I thought it was
money.
all
It's so
digital.
vulgar.
No, Best Buy has
Damn
it for $40.
her. It's the aristocracy. It's the old families. It's the last of the old guard. It's the Contessa, Tacitus.
I'll pick
I
one up
love
this
her.
weekend.
love or not,
I believe it's
You
an
owe me for
Asian
days.
tradition that you do
Oh,
not
money,
spend
dear
money on New
boy,
Year's
I
Day.
don't give a fig for
But
money.
that's the
Here,
way I
here,
was
take
raised,
this
and
money.
my
Money
mom
is
would
beneath
like
me.
it was a
Yes.
problem
It's quite
for
a
my
bit.
mom.
Enjoy it. Spend it on love, on beauty.
Spending money
amore.
on New Year's Day.
Sure.
Now, Tacitus.
It's bad feng shui. I don't know.
more orchids.
Eagles
Here,
Pro
here's the
says
list.
no. That's
These are
unless you're
very
on PS5
rare.
with no CD
I plan
thing.
to declare
Yes.
my love
Odog
like
has a
god.
PS5.
In flowers,
part of the
in
new
beauty.
generation.
Oh, all my life, the times we shall spend by the lake in Lombardy. Oh,
I'll get
Tacitus.
a PS5 at some point,
Well,
but there's a lot of things I
sounds
want before
divine.
that.
It sounds divine.
Well, yes.
Arthur has $5,000 right now. Well done, Arthur.
Hello, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
And back to Algernon we go.
Ma'am.
Yeah, so I'll pick it up this weekend.
Morning, friend.
Another reason why I want it on PS4 is because
Hello,
that way
Algernon.
we can make videos on
Did
it.
you get those eggs?
Oh, yes.
You're a wonderful
I
fellow,
mean, record off the
Tacitus. A man
PS4.
of rare distinction. Herculean labors performed.
I'm just worried that we
almost
won't be able to record
effortlessly in the
cutscenes
pursuit of
on the
art.
PS4. You can't record cutscenes on LA
Contessa,
Noir.
She's a terrible hag, but
Super
she'll
annoying.
Be happy.
Odog says,
hope so.
"Can't wait to see." Well, we
What do
shall
you think of
see
this
if we
hat?
can
Oh,
get it to work without a
very
capture
exotic.
card.
I made it for you.
for me? Ah,
These older Rockstar games,
I'm just,
they wouldn't allow you to.
it's-
The cutscenes were
it
copyrighted
would be wasted
content.
on me, Algernon. I mean, it's too fine.
Odog says, "That's
Man
fresh
of mine.
content." When did Red Dead
Coarseness.
Redemption come
At
out?
least try it on,
No.
please.
Okay.
Fresh content from 2010.
Here you go.
And Arthur gets a fancy hat. Yeah, that's but
exactly
we shall see.
No, you're right.
We shall
It's
see, Odog. I will buy the
all
game
wrong.
and
went
I will
forte,
start fooling
and I
around
should
with
have
it
gone
and make sure
molto adagio.
we have all the technical
Here's your money for the eggs and flowers.
Have you got anything else?
we have the
No,
technical
but I've
capacity
imposed
to
too much already, and I'm
record
ashamed of the
and make
millinery.
videos.
You pay well.
Odog
Yeah,
says,
it's
"For me
easy
anyway,
enough
for
work.
everybody."
I do need some more orchids. Fairly rare.
fresh content
ones,
would be
quite
my
a few.
reaction to
it's
it.
for a cabinet I'm making for a wonderfully spoiled little girl on Fifth Avenue.
Ah, I thought you hated New York.
Eagle Pro
I do.
35
I'm just
says,
so
"Yeah, I was about to say."
dreadfully weak-willed. It's not the money, it's the chance to make these things. Oh, I wanted to say no, Tacitus. I really did. But somehow, I never can.
You know,
See what I
Algernon
can
looks a lot like Hoagie Carmichael. If you look
and
up Hoagie
Tacitus,
Carmichael,
I'll make you something.
Ian
Honestly,
Fleming's original version of James Bond, or who he visualized as James Bond. Just this lean, long, lean, tall, dark-haired, you know, hard-looking man. Hard-looking British man. Daniel Craig's a shorty, I believe. How tall is Daniel Craig? Daniel Craig height.
Hey, partner.
Yeah, 5'10". And Sean Connery was Sean Connery height. And Sean Connery was 6'2". Score says, "I'd pay $40 if it were improved in some way. Sadly, it's not. A shameless cash grab if there ever was one." Yeah, I agree, but you know, it's content and I can write it off. I'll pay it. Eagle Pro says, "I never really grew up playing Red Dead." And Odog says, "I've got it and a PS3. I only miss town Armadillo when gangs would rush to the scene." Ride
got
Wild
those
says,
orchids.
"Hi. Happy New Year, Ride Wild.
don't need
Appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wild ride in
It's the
2024.
She's
The Contessa has
married
spurned Algernon for a postman.
I'm so sad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She left me for a postman.
And another awkward hug.
She married
Odog says, Score,
a
remember,
postman.
you never finished, so it's worth it.
She's a countess.
I never finished, and I never even, like, tried to, I didn't make any content on Red Dead 1 except for Undead Nightmare.
With it, but a postman?
And
Life is
I
extremely
got bored with
challenging,
Undead Nightmare. I just
Tacitus,
finished it because
I want you
it
to
was
kill me.
Halloween, and I wanted it up on the
I have
channel.
a gun.
Quite a gun.
These are Tahitian pearls.
Well, Tahiti?
Have you been?
Nearly, but
Tahitian
I
pearls.
guess we never made it.
It's not for people like us, Tacitus. Please, just kill me.
What? No.
Then give me the gun.
Calm down. I think it best for both of us if I keep the gun.
I'm so ashamed.
Score says, fair
Tacitus.
enough, no judgment here. No, there's
worry
no
about
judgment in this chat or this channel, even
Now,
though I judge
Have to go
Arthur
to
and Marston all the
Baltimore
time.
To see my awful sister. Not to Lake God. To smell the gardenias.
But for you guys, I'm just happy you're
not
here.
sure what to tell you.
I want you to enjoy
Here's your
yourselves.
for
I
the
want you to
orchids.
talk amongst yourselves. I want you to make friends in the
old for
chat
love,
like
Tacitus.
Odog and David has,
Too old to live
and
without
Serena.
Wise
And
words.
I just want
But art
you
will see
to
me through,
enjoy this
Tacitus.
game and my
Surely it
content.
shall. Here.
Appreciate you being here.
Promised you I'd make something.
Happy New Year.
I have your hat. Pretend to like
Oh,
it. I
also,
couldn't have another.
let's see, where are we? Let me
nut.
check real quick.
It's wonderful.
We surpassed
Take
17K.
care, Algernon.
We were
Goodbye,
at
Tacitus. Think of me fondly.
17,011. We are now down to 17,008. We keep gaining subs and then losing subs. Gaining subs, losing. The algorithm is unkind to me right now. If I were a different sort of YouTuber, I would claim that I was being shadow banned. But I don't think that's the case. Odog says, Score, encourage for new content that's not a refresh from Red Dead Redemption 2. We've seen some of this stuff 10 times over. Yeah, I know, but that's partly my fault because it never gets boring to me. Yeah, Odog, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll definitely do it as long as I can. As long as I can record the cutscenes, we will do it. Because in LA Noire, you can't record cutscenes, nor bully.
Come here, Arthur.
You can if you stream it, and you use a capture card.
Charles?
But
You busy?
so I just
No,
hope the
what?
cutscenes aren't
Fella sold
locked
me
out.
these plans.
But it's
what are
worth
you gonna
$50
ask
for
him
me
for,
to
Charles?
find
Hey.
that out.
He's just gonna make a big drama out of it. You know he will.
Drama out of
Odog
what?
says, all good. I'm on my
Only the easiest little
55 to
vibe score
7th
ever got
playthrough. I've
taken.
lost
I don't
count.
like robbing banks now.
I've also
You
lost
like
count. You
complaining
know,
and whining.
I've
We never
you know,
robbed
to me,
that
I
bank
just
in
keep,
Rhodes.
Arthur's good. He's the best man
this
we
is
got.
the game I play,
This is easy.
and this
he
is the
complains a
optional
lot.
What is it?
bank robbery
there's a big
from the
weakness in the
Ultimate
building.
Edition.
They replaced
in
a
case
window
you
to improve
guys
security.
don't have
bricks
that
are real
copy, and
weak.
you should
So?
get it. I bought
The
it pretty
vault's
much
right behind.
just for this
Fella
mission.
sold me the plans, told
Again,
me all
to-
about it. It's an open secret
to
in
get
town.
new
Could be
content.
fixed any day, apparently.
We got enough explosives?
I don't think so.
Well, then what are we waiting
But you get
for?
other
Come on.
stuff too. You get a gun belt and a saddle.
No
and,
wine in there, Arthur Morgan.
Shut up.
Some free
Don't make you
weapons
whine.
at the Valentine
give me this.
Gunsmith. You get a free varmint rifle and a free volcanic. Hirandro says Algernon's revolver is the finest looking in the game. The hat he gave Arthur, though, is a little flamboyant for Arthur's lifestyle. I agree. But I just think it's charming that Algernon thought of him. And was like, oh, Arthur will like this. He needs a clean white hat with a high brim and lots of feathers. Score says, I still listen to Super Antonio's full Red Dead Redemption 2 playthrough video sometimes. The nostalgia is too good. Smiley emoticon. I agree, friend. And I appreciate it. That full game commentary was years in the making. ODOG has a heart emoticon. Love you too, ODOG. Appreciate you being here. I'm sorry you're having family troubles right now, and I hope those sad times do not linger. And I sincerely hope that the next year is a happy and successful one for you. Happy, healthy, and successful, as my dear old mum used to say.
I agree. It's this way.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to a Red Dead 1. Just, I didn't really have any content for the year. We were just going to continue on live streaming, and I was going to get the full game cutscene commentary up, and the cutscenes per chapter in black and white. That was what we were going to be working on next month.
In front of you. All right.
Uncle sort of redeems himself with this mission.
Yeah. This way.
It's pretty successful. Hirandro says, your tutorials are hands down among the best Red Dead Redemption 2 tutorials in the web. I appreciate you saying that, friend. Put a lot of effort into them, a lot of thought. They are the reason why I started this channel. I was annoyed with other YouTubers. I didn't like their style of commentary and narration, and I just wanted to relay the information in a more succinct and calm style.
That boy over there.
Also, I like the idea. It's like, on those old tutorials, the introduction pretty much tells you everything you need to know in the first minute before I get into it and start talking and having my opinion. And I really like that. Just for the people who check out, I'll give you the information first as your reward of what to do, and then we're just going to talk about it.
Hold it right there.
ODOG says, thank you, grab some popcorn. Appreciate you, ODOG, and I hope you brought enough for everyone. We have about another hour in the stream. I love popcorn. I don't think I've ever met a corn product I do not love. Score says, speaking of Algernon's flamboyant pistol, I think it would have been a funny joke if they gave it the power of a varmint rifle. Yeah, that would have been awesome. It's useless, except perhaps as a melee weapon. That would have been funny. But yeah, I never really use it. I love having it. It's but it's such a grind to get. Egrets. I hate egrets.
Grab that spool, Arthur.
But, I was obsessed with that pistol and that hat just as much as the Legends of the East outfit in the first, my first playthrough. Where I knew nothing. It's a lot easier for me now. I've got so many guides on Algernon's, on like every aspect of that mission.
Okay, I think we're all good.
But I have no interest in doing it over again. I have no interest in progressing that far in the story.
Push the stick, Arthur.
I was speed running to chapter 3 to make a hard copy of chapter 3. And I was thinking as I'm speed running through chapter 2 that I should just do this for 4, 5, and 6. I should just have Arthur's permanently locked in those chapters, but I don't feel the reason to do it. I mean, I've covered all that content. There's nothing really new. I don't want to relive chapter 6. It's not interesting to me. So I believe I've got an Arthur in chapter 4. I think we'll just stop at chapter 4 as far as videos and exploration go. I pretty much decided in my own mind, at least, when I finished the full game commentary, that was the last time I was going to play the game all the way through. I don't want to see the good honor buck in Arthur's last sunrise. I don't want to see him say goodbye and thank you to his horse. It's just, you know, I don't want to go up on the, you know, in the lighthouse and save Sadie and say goodbye to Miss Tilly and you know, I don't want to hear that, and I don't want to hear that song anymore.
Let's get out of here.
So we'll just hang out in chapter 2 and 3. Top Hat XD, greetings friend, says, hello Super Antonio. Hello to you, Top Hat. Happy New Year. Appreciate you being here. Just kind of fooling around in Santa Anita for New Year's Eve. I believe the vampire videos are coming up. We can do the channel title. Top Hat, who is your favorite James Bond? We were talking about James Bond earlier. And I'm taking an informal poll. Pretty much everyone has said Sean Connery or Pierce Brosnan. And we ride. Herandro says it's also fun to explore Guarma as Arthur. So much content left out of the game. Yeah, I have an Arthur in Guarma, permanently in Guarma. It would be fun if you could take a boat from Saint Denis to Guarma. You know, post game. Just fast travel there from a boat. Odog says, yes, it was a bit rushed. They missed in so much. Yeah, you know, they had that push for release. That's the way games used to be released, and now they just kind of release them and fix them ad hoc with new updates.
Get moving.
Hence, you get games like Cyberpunk 2077 that aren't really finished when they come out.
Here we go.
Oh, Score says, for me, I spend 90% of my time in chapter 2, 3. Then sprint to the epilogue. It's just too painful to see Arthur like that. Yeah, I don't even really want to ever finish the game.
It's me. Welcome back.
You know, it's too painful for me. I don't see any reason to.
Hey, Uncle.
Hello, good sir.
And at this point, the only thing left to do is fool around in chapter 2 and make our own content. Make our own DLC.
It's okay, girl.
I usually don't keep the brindle this late in chapter 4. Now we're going after that bounty.
Easy, girl. You're okay. Okay, girl.
I'm not really much of a drinker these days, though in my youth I was known as the 12-shot kid. Yeah, I hate being hungover. I hate being drunk. I hate losing control. And these days I'd rather spend New Year's Eve at home with you guys and with Sadie. There were so many dogs out when we went on our walk. Everyone was trying to get their dog walk out early, just so, you know, you could avoid the fireworks, and maybe those people were going to parties. We saw so many dogs that we didn't know from the neighborhood. So that was fun for Sadie.
I got here a warrant for your arrest, or the other thing if it comes to it. A federal...
And also, I completely forgot that Michael gives Arthur a Lancaster during that mission in Chapter 2 when they do the stagecoach robbery, or the bank coach robbery. You recall at the end of the Tree Falls, now we're getting robbed! So we got a Lancaster without Sanford Gunsmith. Good old Lanky. Score says props for the uncle reference. Yeah, of course. I know this game inside and out. Carla Ray says, hello Super Antonio, hello chat. Carla Ray, greetings friend. Appreciate you being here. Happy New Year. Have you been to a live stream before? I do not recall. If not, welcome. If so, I'm glad you're back. It's good to see you again. Odog says, Hani Carla, which Hani means Happy New Year. I like reading acronyms phonetically. I find it funny. I'm probably the only one who finds it amusing, but I have to amuse myself. Carla says, thank you, Odog. Thank you, Arthur. There's a, Arthur will say to Sadie, whatever you say, boss. And she'll go, thank you, Arthur. No, she'll go, I heard that. But sometimes she goes, thank you, Arthur. Carla Ray says, it's me, C-Ray. Yes. Yes, I thought so. I always thought your name was Carla. I had an intuition. Sometimes I'm intuitive. Carla Ray says, Hane to you, Odog and Super Antonio. Yes, Happy New Year, Carla. I really appreciate you being here. How's your New Year so far? And who is your favorite James Bond? We were talking about James Bond earlier.
Who's still fighting? Anyone? Oh, God damn it. I guess
This guy's name is Lindsay. Lindsay, what was his name? Lindsay Wolford. Odog says, this is a good snake location. I prefer Snake Island, as you know, or as you should know.
Damn you! Ow! Sit tight. I'll get us to Saint Denis. I won't go there. I won't.
It is a great bird location if you're working on the taxidermy lady's bird hunts. Almost every bird you need will fly over that fort. Just get up on one of the walls. And back to Saint Denis we go.
Oh, this is an atrocity. It's an abomination. Oh.
Carla says, I can't remember at the moment. It's been a while since I've seen a James Bond movie. Yeah, I know. I have them all on Blu-ray, and I never watched them, but they are all ingrained in my memory.
Who's that warrant from, huh? Oh, the U.S. government? Sounds like one for the Lord.
And, you know, to be honest, I like all of them. I would probably have to rank them, you know, Sean Connery being first, of course. Then Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore. Timothy Dalton. He was, you know, he was only Bond once, I think, once or twice. He was a good Bond, but he was a very serious Bond. Took it in a different direction. And I don't like him as much as Pierce Brosnan. Daniel Craig, for me, would be dead last. But I'm a traditionalist. I don't like these modern movies. Score says, Super Antonio, ever considered trying Red Dead Redemption 2 for PC and doing mod reviews? Plenty of content there. Well, we do have a save wizard, and I do have, like, horses. We do have the liver chestnut Hungarian half-bred. So we kind of do mod content here. Odog says, Roger Moore was my guy. Live and Let Die is a great song. Perhaps one of the greatest of the James Bond songs. Themes. Oh, that classic, like, James Bond theme, you know, the bum, 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 down, 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 down. That's, the title of that is, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And I do like that classic, jazzy, mid-century Bond that you get with Sean Connery. Just the suits are nicer.
Hey there, mister. Hi there, ma'am. Hey, partner.
Sharpie is back. Sharp Frost says, hi, folks. Happy New Year, Sharpie. I really appreciate you being here. I hope your New Year's is going well. Happy 2024 to you, friend. Sharp Frost is an old friend of the channel. He's been here for quite some time. Odog says, Hani, which means Happy New Year.
Got a live one for you. Well, looky here.
This certainly is the fanciest jail in Red Dead Redemption 2. Look at those columns. It's like a bank lobby that they turned into a jail.
Bet you ain't felt a bed in a while.
Damn traitor's bed. Get me off of here.
Calm down.
You know, speaking of commentaries, as one does, I would love to do a commentary on Season 1 of Westworld. And maybe half of Season 2. And I might just do that out of a labor of love, episode by episode, where I just watch my copy and you either watch your copy or just listen to me, because I have so much to say about that series. Just the first 1.5 seasons. I like Season 2 just because you see a little bit of Samurai World, but they really could have spent more time. They only spent like 2 episodes in Samurai World, when I really think you could have spent the whole season there. Carla Ray says, hello, smiley emoticon, and Sharp Frost says, honey, back to you. Back to you, friends. This is the, personally, the happiest New Year's I've had in a while. I can't even remember what I did last year. Probably went to bed earlier with the dog, because she likes to go to bed early. Certainly didn't go out. There's a great song, one of my favorites. It's very romantic, very plaintive, by Ella Fitzgerald, called What Are You Doing New Year's Eve? Which, she's asking someone out, and I love Ella Fitzgerald's voice. At any rate, my New Year's Eve these days are very quiet, so I'm happy and glad you guys are with me. And we can socialize a little bit, have a nice conversation, not have to worry about the madness and chaos outside. Odog says Ella with a heart emoticon. Yeah, she had a voice like liquid gold.
Hello, madam.
Hello, mister. Try again. Please. Please. It is...
Okay, let's talk to Sister Calderone.
Sister, my friend, Mr. Morgan.
Oh, sir. Brother Dorkins told me about the wonderful
Sister
thing you
Calderone,
Oh,
as
he
you
talks a lot of
are
nonsense.
no doubt aware, is essential to the redemption to Arthur's redemption arc
Kids,
of
it'll work.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Now we gotta chase another one of those annoying Angelo Bronte street kids, and we're not allowed to kill him. Not allowed to kill any of the kids. I hated this first playthrough. Super annoying to me. I hated these kids. Probably still do, but you know, I never really progressed this far in the game. Not anymore.
You alright?
Oh, I'll live.
Kid did this?
You know him?
He robbed me. Which way you go?
That way. Thanks.
It's just not interesting to me.
Get off me!
Where's my watch, you little weasel?
I don't know nothing about no damn watch.
Last Saturday.
Hey, you! Why don't you leave the boy alone?
Hey you!
What's to do with
I
you?
love how Arthur says hey you.
I could hit a lot harder than you. Promise you that.
All right, forget it. Little shit ain't even worth my time.
Thanks, mister.
Hey, you want some company, mister?
No.
And here's Mrs. Downs. First playthrough, I had no idea who this lady was.
Downs?
Hey, big boy. Hey, stranger.
Hey,
Help! Help!
hold on.
This man is bothering me.
I would have a
Someone
hard
help me,
pass,
officer.
you know, regrettably for Mrs. Downs, personally. No offense, lots of offense. Arthur, of course, feels responsible. How could he not? Perandro says, poor Mrs. Downs. Yeah, a lot of single moms in this game. What's that about? And yes, Arthur was indirectly responsible for turning Mrs. Downs into a widow. However, Mr. Downs would have done that by himself anyways, because he was riddled with TB. And, you know, Mrs. Downs is also essential to the redemption arc of Arthur's Red Dead Redemption. And back to Sister Calderone we go, unless we get a wanted level again. Super annoying. The game gets more complicated and intense as you progress. Another thing I don't like. Yeah, you know, I just like the peacefulness of Chapter 2 and early Chapter 3. Where everyone still likes each other, and not everyone is trying to kill you every time you leave camp. Which happens in from maybe chapter 5 on. Sneak out of there. I really wish we could go into this cathedral.
Hello.
I'd love to see what that looks like on the inside. And what if there were crypts and basements and secret tunnels that led all under the city? I had the idea for a DLC where
just used to frustrate me.
featuring the Saint Denis gunsmith, where Arthur has to like
Excuse me,
deal
fella.
with the
Sister,
Chinese and
I got
Asian
your
community
cross.
in Saint Denis
Oh, I did.
and help them out.
I hope the
the
boy.
Jade
Nice
Dragon. You
ride,
get to go in the Jade
physically.
Dragon, and
Mentally,
you have
he's
to
a
learn a
piece of
little
work,
kung
but
fu,
who am I to say?
and
Brother Dorkins was right about you. You
just kind of
are
have
the
fun.
most
Oh,
wonderful
kung fu
man.
reminds me of the
Brother
I've
Dorkins
been
is
watching Reacher season 2,
greatly
and there's this
deceived,
one scene.
afraid.
Reacher has like
Happy
4,
to help a little.
like.
Thank you. You see, it's a thing.
Odog says,
My
did they
mother
patch the
gave it
trick
to
to get
me
in the
when I
building?
was a
Yeah, the
novice,
long. You talking
shortly
about the
before she
lantern trick?
passed.
Yeah, a
You
long time
are
ago.
The most wonderful man.
So
Excuse me,
Reacher
Father. Sister.
says, you know, I'm hungry, and they're
Daddy.
going to a diner. And
See,
just
Father?
as an aside, there's no way you could maintain that physique with diner food. So Reacher and his team of like, you know, one other guy and 2 ladies who are all very capable, ex-military. Odog says lantern and pistol trick. Yeah, it's patched. So they pull into a diner at night. Okay, and they get out of their minivan, and they're just like talking about stuff. And it's night, and these bikers just start like roaring up to them,
Hey,
just
mister.
circling around, and you know, Reacher, why would you even like try to challenge him? You know, he's built like one of his teammates calls him a kaiju. You know, he's a giant. He's built like a giant Viking berserker. So they ride up, and you know, they have the drop on them. They've got guns out, and they take away their guns and knives and stuff. And Reacher says it's because you want a quiet fight. And the lead biker, who's pretty much as tall as Reacher, goes, I'm gonna gut you quietly, and you're gonna die. Or, you know, he starts doing his threat, and Reacher does his signature headbutt. Jesus Areola says, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year to you, Jesus. Okay, so the whole point of the fight was to go hand to hand. That's why you had to get rid of the guns. And so they just like, you know, and it's like the 4 guys against at least 12, 3 to 1, and they've got like pipes and chains, and you know, Reacher's just like, he does this one like arm lock headbutt and breaks the guy's arm with his head.
Hello.
Just a bunch of really awesome, you know, moves like that. Just a little bit of technique and a lot of brute strength. It's fun to watch.
Hey there.
Highly recommend
Hello, sir.
if you're watching Jack Reacher.
Not too good.
But it reminded me of how you have to have, there has to be a gimmick to get rid of the weapons if you want to go hand to hand and show like a martial arts type scene or movie. Bruce Lee used to use darts, bamboo darts, for like the Way of the Dragon, the one set in Rome with Chuck Norris in the final fight. You know, so he'd like throw darts, so you know, they would like drop the gun, and so you could like just kind of do his kung fu and hand to hand and take away, you know. Yeah, but there always has to be like a little bit of a suspension of disbelief with these types of situations, which is fun, I guess. You know, I don't mind.
Let's go, girl.
I just noticed that it seemed a little obvious in Jack Reacher. Carla Ray says likewise. Appreciate you being here, Carla. Jack Reacher is on Amazon Prime, so if you have Amazon Prime, highly recommend it. And back to the vampires we go.
Ain't nothing new there.
Used to love that Drover coat. That was part of my Saint Denis outfit. Hardly ever get it these days.
Partner.
Hello, mister.
Hello, ma'am.
You have to have super good honor to buy that coat.
Okay there?
Hello.
Not 100%. I'd say 75 or 80%. As high as you can get in Chapter 2. Carla Ray says, no problem. I'm enjoying myself. I appreciate you being here, Carla, and I'm glad
Get away from me, please.
you're enjoying yourself.
Just let me get out of here, all right?
You can, however, throw dynamite at those boys.
Stay calm.
And that's kind of fun. It won't damage them, but they get scared.
Okay, I'm leaving this be. Okay. I ain't playing games. Oh shit, this can't be real. Oh God, please no!
You run real good.
Don't do this to me. Get the hell away from me!
Who let the semblance?
So yeah, I've been watching Reacher and this old series called Grimm. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's a reimagining of all the Grimm's fairy tales. What if they were real? What if they were based on real people? And it's like a procedural detective show, crime show with like creatures set in Portland. Creatures as in like werewolves and snake people and all, you know, basically any animal you can think of has like a human animal hybrid equivalent in this universe. But that's also on Amazon Prime, so I've been, and they've got like 6 seasons, so I've been watching it. Hey, kitty.
Kitty. Hey, kitty.
And that's what I've been doing. Kind of lost track of Gotham because I started watching Parks and Rec. I bought the Parks and Rec series on DVD, and I watched that all the way through, which I love. I loved. Can't wait to do that again. But that got me off the Gotham track. So I'll get back to that at some point, and then I got onto the Gotham, or I mean onto the Grimm. TV shows with a G in the title. So we're watching G. Hirandro says, reminds me of the game A Wolf Among Us. Have you seen Grimm, Hirandro? And I don't know that game. A Wolf Among Us. It's a console game. The Wolf Among Us is an episodic graphic neo-noir mystery drama adventure game developed by Telltale Games, based on Bill Willingham's Fables comic book series, to which it serves as a prequel. Yeah, that looks like Grimm.
I know you're following me. Officer, how are you?
Hello, mister.
Now we gotta go see that vampire.
Hello, mister.
Hello, sir.
Odog says, Hirandro, I got the Platinum Trophy on PS3 and PS4. Was actually fun.
So, you found me.
And here's the vampire, quote-unquote vampire.
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing?
For your own sake. I walk
Odog says, Happy New Year, Jesus. Yes, Jesus. Appreciate you being here.
What, you're a vampire?
Feliz Ano Nueva? I don't know how you say it. I'm just improvising.
Go, or I'll feed on you too. You're a goddamn idiot.
Carla Ray says, I just bought that game a month ago for $5. Sounds like I'm in for a treat. Well, if you need any tips, talk to Odog and Hirandro. I'm sure they'll be happy to help. And the map. Carla says, congratulations, Odog. I love how Saint Denis looks at night. Especially the Jade Dragon.
Leave me out of this, okay?
Just like, I really wish we could go into the Jade Dragon and have a meal there. Have some Chinese food, some chow mein. We can only eat at the hotel. Odog says, "Thank you, ma'am." Odog is nothing if not a gentleman. I love the formality in this game. Hello? Mr. Morgan, hey, Mr. Morgan, Miss O'Shea. Call me Molly, will ya? And back to Saint Denis, or back to Shady Belle we go.
You seem well, Reverend.
Yes.
Reverend's always interrupting
maybe I've been okay before, but
our stream.
I make a fool of myself again.
You can see that we're filming here.
So do I.
I went into town.
So did I.
If I was still a religious man, I'd say there are too many Catholics.
I like the light in this game.
I've given up on
Carla Ray says you're most welcome.
Me too, Reverend.
There will come a time, perhaps in 2024, when I will not be able to read the chat.
Any purpose to this conversation, Reverend?
So appreciate this.
But he said the strangest things about all manner of bad things happening in town.
Bad things happening in the city.
I used to love Chapter 4 just because Arthur got to sleep under a
Maybe
roof.
if you're there, you could have a chat with him.
And I love the
He's hanging
Golden
about
Turco Man,
outside the
but
marketplace, collecting alms for the
these days I would rather keep him in chapters 2 or 3. And if we're in 3, it's early to mid 3. Just enough to get Cerberus. Certainly not long enough to take a short walk in an unfriendly town.
Arthur.
Miss Grimshaw.
Hirandro says the vampire was inspired by Nosferatu. Yes, indeed he was. Looked just like him. Max Shrek
believe you. It's just a little robbery, all right? Nothing serious.
played Nosferatu. And you may, if you know your movies, recall that Max Shrek was the name of the villain in Batman Returns. That was the one with Catwoman and Penguin.
Between here and Catfish Jackson.
Okay.
And Max Shrek was played by Christopher Walken.
You and who?
I don't know. I thought I'd do it on my own. It'll be unprotected. Won't be a huge take, but I should make out okay.
There ain't no such thing as unprotected.
Optional side mission with Lenny here.
I guess you.
Now?
I don't need no hand-holding offer.
Oh, come on, kid. But if we decide
You know, there was a
a
retelling of Nosferatu. What was it called? It was called Shadow of the Vampire from the early 2000s, which let's see. It was.
It seems like only yesterday you and me was shooting our
starred,
way in to rob those fools.
Here, let's look it up. Shadow. Willem Dafoe played Max Shrek of the Vampire
Got a bad feel to it.
from 2000, and John Malkovich played the director F.W. Murnau. And the whole point of the movie was it's like the filming of Nosferatu in Germany. And the whole point is that Murnau used an actual vampire, and Max Shrek was actually played by Willem Dafoe was actually a real vampire.
You're just gonna have to trust me on this one, Arthur.
Okay, I do.
It's it's interesting. Very stylish.
Don't forget, I was on the
I
run
liked
for
it.
murder before falling in with you boys. For 3 years.
And if you like
It ain't like I'm
Nosferatu,
new to any of this.
you'll enjoy seeing that movie.
Those fellers who killed your pa?
Yep. And I'd do it again right now.
Of course.
Then of course there's the remake by Werner Herzog from the 70s with Klaus Kinski in the title role. I have that movie poster. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movie posters because it reminds me of an illuminated manuscript. And if we had a real camera, I would tilt it to show you, but I can't show you here. But it is right there, off screen. Used to hate this area, the map. That panther scared me. Panther doesn't really scare me anymore. Nothing really scares me in this game anymore, regrettably. Okay. I do miss the paranoia of riding around, worrying that something's gonna kill me.
Let's leave the horses off the road to the right here.
But, you know, I know where all the ambush points are. I know where, you know, it's like I know how to defeat any animal that comes out. The only thing we really have to worry about is like a giant wolf pack when they come in waves. But I don't even think we've been slaughtered by wolves in a long time. Now the only time we die deliberately just for the content.
There it is. And I don't see no escorts neither. This should be a
So yeah, in that sense,
Are you sure about that?
we do need new content. So Red Dead 1 would be
As soon as they're close enough,
an obvious choice.
hit them fast.
Just wait for my lead, okay?
Very good suggestion by O-Dog. Shout out to O-Dog.
I said wait for my lead.
This is a robbery.
And pardon me, sir. Routine wagon inspection.
I said drop the weapon, okay?
Note that this wagon has 4 horses because it's an armored wagon. It's heavier. Serena's here. Hi, and she says, hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Serena, really appreciate you being here. Serena says, hi, Antonio. I made it. Sorry I'm late. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, friend. Everyone say hi to Serena and wish her a Happy New Year. Durandro says, I'm on my 6th playthrough, but still don't like the swamp area. The dog says, LOL. Serena, do you want to do movie night next Saturday? It would be Sunday for you, because you live in the future. You could watch Quickly Down Under. Let me know in the chat, and we shall set it up on PS4. O-Dog says, Happy New Year, Serena. You missed Davey.
Are you?
Yeah, Davey had to go. David had to go to sleep early. He would have been happy to see you.
Took us into a trap.
Look,
Carla Ray says, Happy New Year, Serena.
information.
Honey, Serena.
Hey, look, there's some money here. Not much.
Yeah, it ain't much, because it was a trap.
And
Stage companies do this
I
all
need you
the
to talk amongst yourselves for a
Set up
minute.
traps.
Someone is looking at me desperately and has a
Feel like a fool.
Well, that's good.
and
'cause you
has she needs to add to the stream with a little stream of her own. So we shall return forthwith. Talk amongst yourselves. Now that Serena here. Serena, take over.
How do you do? Stay. Can you hold up a second? Has there been a problem? Heck, ain't even worth it. Get! Go on, boy.
And we're back. Hop, 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 hop. Sometimes I think she wants to go to the balcony just because she wants attention from me, and she knows she'll get a treat upon her return. She associates the balcony with treats. Say Happy New Year to the chat. Look up here. Look up here. Look right there and say Happy New Year. Sadie says Happy New Year. Very tired. Okay, where were we? Serena says, hi, O-Dog, really missed David. He messaged me on one of my videos. Randro says, Happy New Year, Star Hearts. And Serena says, yes, that should be fine, Antonio. Okay, next Saturday's movie night is Quigley Down Under, a Western set in Australia, starring Tom Selleck from, I don't know, the 90s, I believe. And Serena will co-host because she is our correspondent from Australia, and she will talk about all things Australian and tell us if the movie is authentic. And I don't know, if like, you know, talk about kangaroos and stuff. Herandro says, no problem, it's a strange name. And Serena says, no, it's an awesome name. Yes, it is. And O-Dog said, Happy New Year to you, but she's already asleep.
How many times are you
She's already tired. She's so tired. Serena says, my stable on Red Dead Online finally working. Yay, missed these stables and my horses. I did upload a video before. Serena said, Happy New Year, if you care. JD. Herandro says, Magnum PI, yes. Well, he made a fine cowboy. He had the mustache and the height for it. And a man with no name says, hello all, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, friend. Appreciate you being here. Serena says, do I have to watch the movie? Not sure what I have to do, Antonio. Just show up at the chat and open the movie in another window. Okay? It's available for free on YouTube. So just have two windows open and you talk on this stream and you watch the movie on another window. You know, either on your phone or, you know, on an iPad or a computer. I don't know what your setup is like. So you need two screens or two windows to do movie night.
Sure, old man.
Enough of that old man nonsense. I'm in the prime of my life.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, man with no name.
Bored.
Happy
See
New
that
Year.
swamp, Arthur?
Let's go look
That's
for some
God's
alligator
own
eggs.
Pantry. What are we eating? Venison? Come on, let's go gather
Which,
some crawfish. What else
coincidentally,
we can get?
Crawfish?
we need for
crawfish.
Algernon.
Finest eating there is. It's not just crawfish.
No. There's monsters out there that'll eat a feller for fun.
Oh, Arthur, I thought you were a man.
No, sir. When it comes to
I
prehistoric
believe I already have the
monsters,
thumbnail
I am very
for
much a coward.
Quigley Down Under. So we're all set on my end. I haven't seen it all the way through. I mean, I vaguely know the plot, and you know, I've seen parts of it, but this will pretty much be a first-time reaction, live reaction watching of the movie. Serena says, I don't know. It's on my phone. What's the name of the movie? Message me on PS4, Antonio, what to do. Yeah, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. I know what to do.
Exactly are we looking for?
We're looking for low
It's just like watching a YouTube video, except it's a movie. Also, incidentally, in case you didn't know, Serena and chat, there are free movies available on YouTube. It's, you know, free with ads.
Yeah, come on.
They've got a great selection. That's how I came up with the idea of doing a movie night here.
There's more than crawfish in these waters.
Stop your whining, please. It's beneath you. This is the place.
Serena says, I do it on my phone, the window for the movie. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
It's nothing
you know,
like that, but it's
however you
equally
want to do it.
gruesome if you're squeamish.
Really selling.
Man with no name says, best thing to do in Red Dead. It's great. Great antagonize. It's great antagonize.
Now, do you see this all?
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, it's sort of like a natural
Serena
track.
says, I'm
Just wanna
shy,
stick
lol.
your
Don't
hand
worry.
and watch.
Just give your opinion on the movie as you watch it, and I'll read it out loud and
Seems easy enough.
Uh-huh.
and
Let's go find another hole.
and comment.
How long were you in the Navy?
Just you know, I want your opinion on the Australian aspect, or you just talk about whatever you want.
That's quite a range.
And also, you know, I know you're shy, and I know this is an effort for you, but you will grow from this, and it will benefit your channel greatly, immensely.
Oh, look there. Another crayfish hole. You see it? You try this.
Serena says, okay, Antonio, it's like I'm not a shy person, you know, I don't have a shy personality, but it still was like the first live streams were super awkward for me. You know, I had to get comfortable in front of the camera, and I, you know, so that's one of the reasons why I left them up, so you could see the progression from here to then, because the first ones are like, long gaps of silence where I'm just not knowing what to say, you know, completely frozen. But I knew I could do it. It just takes practice, and you can do it too. Man with no name says, don't be shy. And Serena says, thank you, Antonio. Just got another sub. See? Well done. Well done, Serena. Hortus says, hey there, folks. Greetings, Hort. Happy New Year. Can you see my co-host down here? Hortus? There she is. There she is. She's asleep. She had a long day. A long day. Hortus, glad you're here. Happy New Year, friend. Appreciate you. Hortus, an old friend of the channel. I hope you have a great 2024. Serena said, hey Antonio, did you watch my video of the submarine mission? Did everyone else see? I saw it this morning. I did not comment, but I did leave a like. Actually, me and Sadie saw it. We watched it with our morning coffee. Odog says, Hani Hort. That's how Odog says Happy New Year. Man with no name says, Star Hearts, can you drop a link? I will sub. And Serena says, hi Hortus, Happy New Year. Yeah, Man with no name. Serena is our correspondent for all things Red Dead Online and also GTA Online. And she also does like playthroughs of games I find interesting. She did a playthrough of Life is Strange, and you know, that's like one of my favorite games. I would love to replay it. Just don't have the time. So I rely on Serena to like show me new games. Have an alligator egg. Yes, Serena says, not sure, Man with no name. Can you click on my name here, see if it takes you to my channel? Yeah, if you click on anybody's name, it will take you to, it will like open up a window, or, you know, where you can, where it says go to channel. Serena says, or type in Star Hearts Red Dead Redemption. Man with no name says, anyone that plays Red Dead deserves a sub. Well said, and an excellent philosophy. Well, a man with no name. Her, yeah, you can just search Star Hearts Red Dead Redemption, and you'll find her. Her channel name is Star Hearts.
All right, sir, take us back.
Silas Soul says, Happy New Year, everyone, and Happy New Year to you, friend. Appreciate you being here.
People pay a lot of money for those eggs. I'm told there's a collector in Saint Denis who gives top dollar for them. For millinery, of all things.
Yeah, because who doesn't want a hat with an egg on it?
That was fun.
Serena says, Antonio didn't work for Man with no name. Can't get to my channel. I'm sure I'll figure it out, Serena.
Oh, thank you. Here.
You just need to have a little faith.
Give you some of those eggs.
Hey, maybe you could hatch that, get yourself a new friend.
There's a thought. A new reptilian best buddy.
Serena says, "Hi Silas, Happy New Year." And a man with no name says, "I found it, dropped a sub." Well done, man with no name. Odog says, "I was on GTA Online earlier. It was a boring experience." Sad face emoticon. I assume you're talking about GTA Online. Starheart says, "Thank you, man with no name. Really appreciate I sub to your channel." There, see? Sub for sub. Used to see those comments all the time, sub for sub. I never did it. All I did, you know, it's like all I did was make videos and trust the algorithm that the subs would come. There was someone last night asking for YouTube advice, which I was happy to give, even though, you know, I'm always a little reluctant because nobody ever follows the YouTube advice. Man with no name says, "Thank you, Star. You deserve a sub." And Serena says, "I know Odog was happy the salvage yard mission. Now I'm bored. I love Red Dead Online." Odog says, "Sub for sub is nice." And Odog says, all continues, "Find me, Serena." And I think we have a little more. I don't think that's the end of this. That may be The Last of Us. Yes, it is, regrettably. A man with no name says, "Antonio, your video on hunting for the Legend of the East Satchel is my favorite. I play it sometimes randomly while I play Red Dead." Thank you, friend. I love hunting for the Legend of the East Satchel. I will just spend an afternoon crafting it for myself for fun. That's one of my favorite things to do in the game. At any rate, that is about all I have for you tonight. I hope all of you have a very happy New Year's, and 2024 brings you everything you desire in terms of health, happiness, and wealth, and wealth management, and wealth generation. Shout out to the mods, David, Serena, Sarhearts, Odog. We return tomorrow night at 7 PST for Marston Mondays. On Mondays, we Marston. Free Roam Fridays is also live now at 7 p.m. Movie night will be Quigley Down Under, hosted with Serena Starhearts from Australia at 7 PST. And we will do Sunday streams. Sunday streams are fun for me. They're just kind of a hangout, chill out stream. Really appreciate all of you being here. Happy New Year, friends, and